everyone. How are you today? I hope you are doing well. Welcome to You Still Matter, a podcast and show about seniors and those who love them. I am so excited about my guest today. We are going to be talking about the importance of spiritual self-care. Oftentimes we hear about physical self-care, we hear about nutritional self-care, but today we are going to examine spiritual self-care. My very special guest here is Reverend Dr. Monica C. Jones. Hi, Monica. How are you?
Hi, good morning. How are you,
I'm
Donna?
doing great. So great to see you. So glad that you are here because we can all use some spiritual self-care. So, if you would just kind of talk a little bit about, what spiritual self-care is.
Okay, well, as you've already said, it's a part of our well-being. We think about eating right. We think about doing those things that keep our bodies and possibly even our minds, because I know there are people who relax, who maybe take yoga, do things for their mental stability, but spiritual care is just as important. And for me, I have to constantly, as a clergy person, think about that because if I'm not spiritually healthy, then I can't help other persons. For me, again, because it's a part of my vocation, it's a main part of my lifestyle.
Yes, and as for me as well, I don't know what I would do without spiritual self-care. I know I can often use more, of course, as I'm sure we all can, but kind of set up the day. I know I typically like to do mine in the morning and then again at night. So give us some pointers on some healthy types of spiritual self-care.
Okay, well, just overall, since we won't have a long interview and we won't be talking about each of the steps, just to give a basic concept of spiritual self-care, it should be consistent. Whatever you do, the process, whether you do it in the morning or in the evening, whether it's a one-time thing each day, it should be consistent. Just as you eat regularly, just as you rest regularly, you should have prayer and meditation regularly. I am Christian, so my concept comes from the Christian theology. No matter what you do, though, in terms of your worship style, what God presence you acknowledge, it should be a daily, consistent process. It also means that the focus should be on that being. For me, Jesus Christ is who I focus on. And so I'm not thinking about other things. I don't let catastrophes or chaos surround me and enter my spirit. At that moment, it's just me. So, one word, consistent. Be consistent. Make sure whatever it is that you do every day, all the time, not letting anything interrupt you, and concentrate. Don't be interrupted. Cut the phone off. Um, don't accept calls. Cut off anything that's going to interrupt your process and make it just between you and your God.
And so, in other words, get rid of all the distractions because distractions can come at you left and right. So I like that, just kind of shutting all of those down, if you will. Also, you mentioned chaos, and a lot of people see, can identify a lot of chaos that's going on in our world, in our country right now. And I know oftentimes, especially if we watch the news quite a bit, that can be very depressing, and that can certainly pull on your spirit.
Mhm.
Talk a little bit about that, would you?
Well, just because there are things in the world that are going on right, like right now, the unrest, the uncertainty, it can be a distraction. And so you have to place yourself in a situation where you're not thinking about that and you don't let those thoughts interrupt your time. Whether it's a song or a prayer, always make sure that you first of all give your attention to that meditation moment. And that's why I said, cutting off media and not being distracted by sounds and things around you is important.
And what do you think about journaling your thoughts? What do you think
Journaling
about
is
that?
very important in the devotional that we have for this year for Lent. We have a journal every week. When you write, it helps you to connect. It helps you to connect, and it doesn't matter how long it is. It means that you take a moment to say something to God, and you are listening, hopefully, for a response, even if it doesn't come immediately. But it's just a way to connect, another way to connect.
Mhm. Sounds great. And if you would, I know we're a little short on time today, but I would love for you to at least share one more principle, maybe one more of your favorite principles of spiritual self-care, because knowing that there may be viewers watching who are just still not quite sure, exactly what it is, maybe something they want to embrace, but not quite sure how to do it.
I think studying is important. The Bible, whatever guide that you use in your spiritual life, is important to read because that's a part of the way you communicate with God. And so I'm always scripturally sound in whatever I preach, but indeed, even in my meditation, I'm reading. So my meditation includes the study of the Bible. And so you need to have a study guide, something that governs your process, if you will, learning more about your faith and dealing more with those lifestyle issues that can be sometimes distracting, as we talked about earlier. The Bible gives you those guidelines. It's a blueprint for living.
Mm. And one more question for you is some people, just hearing some feedback, some people are thinking meditation, ooh, it's I'm not sure about that or if it's necessary. And I know you have certainly stressed that, yeah, I mean it's part of self-care. But for those who may be doubters or just so not familiar even with the term, they may be meditating. And I actually think we all meditate, right? What we want to meditate on the right thing, right?
Exactly. And meditation can be different for different people. As I said, for some, it may be listening to a song. For another, it may be praying and just being quiet. But the meditation process means a quiet time with you and your maker, your creator. And you have to determine what that is for you. It could be that you totally change the process from what might be traditional for someone else. But as long as it's a long time with you and your creator, as long as you and God are communicating, that's what's important, however you label it.
Great. Thank you so much for that. So I just have three in closing. I have three questions for you personally. And just answer with one word if you can, okay? What are you most passionate about?
Faith,
Okay. And what would you say is your God-given purpose?
teaching,
Okay. And what are you most grateful for?
my gifts.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Monica, for being with us. I know you will be back. And again, I am just so delighted and grateful for you to have been here with us today. And everyone, again, thank you all so much for tuning in. No matter who you are, no matter your age, always remember that you still matter. And if anyone came to mind while you were tuning into this episode, please share it with them, okay? So, again, take care. God bless, and we'll see you soon. And bye for now.